Hello, everyone. This is Rose. Today's topic from the Book of Life is I heard it through the grapevine. I heard it through the grapevine that my stalker is actually my secret admirer. How was I supposed to know? Let's take a look at this short story from the Book of Life. Sophia has been divorced for 2 years. She separated from her abusive husband after 5 years of marriage. Her husband gave her an option in the divorce decree that she couldn't turn down. There was no turning down this offer. He offers to give her full custody of their 4-year-old son in exchange for him to be able to keep their family home, as well as not paying child support or alimony. Sophia did not care about waiving her rights to child support and alimony. She wanted out of the toxic marriage. See, sometimes when you fed up, nothing else matters. Money is meaningless to you when you're in a toxic relationship that is abusive, physically abusive. Money doesn't matter anymore. So she just did not care. She just wanted out. Sophia was happy that she had stashed a little cash before separating from her husband. Well, you go, girl. She was thinking ahead. Okay, well, as long as they was married, that half of that money was hers. So she took her half and she put it away. She stashed it away because she saw what was coming. So I do not blame her. If she was not cheating in my book, she was not stealing in my book, she was married to him. So 50% of it was hers. Okay. Sophia, she was happy about stashing, the little cash. It helped her and Jeffrey Jr., her son, to get on their feet after being kicked out of the family home. Sophia found a job working in customer service. Her and her son Jeffrey found a really nice 1-bedroom apartment. The bedroom was huge. It was large enough for a queen bed, a twin bed, a dresser, and 2 nightstands. After the divorce, Sophia struggled financially. Yeah, she stashed a little money to help her get through when she was able to rent an apartment and get some furniture. But it still was a financial struggle because now she had to find some way to make all ends meet. She always paid her rent and utilities first. She wanted to assure that she always had a roof over her and her son's head. However, she would struggle with paying child care, buying food, and clothing for her growing son. For the first year and a half of working, Sophia only purchased sale items at the grocery store, and she shopped only at thrift stores for clothing. She had to do what she had to do. It's called survivor. She was an outstanding worker. She was liked by her co-workers and highly favored by the customer service department managerial team. After nearly 2 years of working, Sophia received a promotion. Way to go, Sophia. See, she was struggling, but she didn't wear it on her face at work, and she did not allow it to prevent her from doing a job well done. Sometimes when we struggling, we can't do nothing else. It cripples us. to where we can't do nothing. It shows in everything we do. But Sophia did not allow that to happen to her. So she did an outstanding job on her work. She did outstanding, and she was promoted because of it. The promotion helped to ease her financial burden. Not having to worry about her finances, it helped Sophia to become more sociable with her co-workers. See, that was the only thing she lacked in. That's what being financially burdened did. It just caused her to go into a shell. But she still did her job well. So now, being able to have that worry off of her, she was more sociable with her co-workers. She started attending functions at their homes, as well as occasional happy hour socializing after work. Sophia's bubbly personality and compassionate spirit drew people to her. People felt safe sharing personal information in her presence. Men would approach Sophia often to ask for her phone number or to ask her out on a date. Although it has been 3 years since her divorce at this time, 3 years have passed since her divorce, Sophia was still feeling traumatized by her ex-husband's abusive behavior. I can understand that. You got to try to open up and trust somebody else, and you still haven't healed from the new one. She got to heal herself. She wasn't looking to enter into another romantic relationship anytime soon. Sophia's co-workers knew she had a bad breakup from her ex-husband, but they did not know the intricate details of the relationship. Whenever one of Sophia's whenever one of Sophia's co-workers would try to play matchmaker, she would express to them that she was not ready for any intimate relationship. She was like, hear me, I'm not ready. Don't go there with anybody. They respect her decision. Shortly after Sophia's co-workers stopped playing matchmaker, she starts receiving gifts on her desk at work from a secret admirer. The gifts were small and appeared to be innocent in nature. She would receive inspirational music CDs, gift cards, birthday cards, toys for her son, notes that was typed on fancy paper on how much her gentle spirit and beautiful personality was admired by this person. So that was a lot. Because even though the gifts was innocent, think about it. I mean, they had to know a lot about Sophia to send her the type of gifts that they did. A birthday card? Okay, how did this person find out about my birthday? Toys for her son? How did this person know I have a son? Okay, so she understands this was in the workplace. But who is doing this? And who did her co-workers that she talked to share this information to in order for this person to know this much information about her? Whenever Sophia would inquire about the gifts from her co-workers, no one knew who was putting the gifts on her desk. No one had a clue. Okay, who did y'all mouth off to? Yeah, I said that. Who did y'all tell? Who did you all talk to? Sophia expressed her concern to the co-workers. She talked about having management place a camera around her desk, but did not want to get the person in trouble or fired when the gifts appeared to be innocent in nature. See, she knew, she's a smart lady, because she knew if her co-workers had to share something. They was the one doing the talking. They had to share something in order for this person to know her business. So she had to go through the same sources that was talking to get the word out there. I'm going to go to management and have a camera placed around my desk. So in other words, you get that word out there so this can stop. Let them know I'm concerned about what, the gifts they're giving and them being secretly doing it. So here now, after expressing her concerns to co-workers, the secret admirer stopped, okay? Stop putting gifts on her desk. Go figure. After 3 months of no gifts, going to management with the camera scared that person off. After 3 months of no gifts, Sophia thought it was over. When one day, one day, upon arriving home from work, she finds a gift box at her door. What the heck? She lived in a triplex apartment building. She thought to herself, this has to be placed at my door by mistake. When she looked at the gift card attached to the box, it read to Sophia from Secret Admirer. Sophia became frightened. She was frightened because now this person knows where she lives. Sophia made sure her door was securely locked behind her. She wasn't too concerned about the windows because she lived on the second floor of the triplex. And she just felt like there's not a ladder long enough to reach her windows. So she felt a little bit more secure about her windows, but was very concerned about her door. She made sure it was always locked. She begins to wonder if this person was a threat. Would this person try to hurt her and her son? See, when he took it from work, coming into my personal private space, my home, and I didn't know you know where I live, oh yeah, I'm concerned now about my safety and the safety of my son. That's where she was at. Sophia pulls a note out of the box. She decided to read this note that was inside the box. The secret admirer had to know the gift box placed at her door would frighten her. Go figure. Because the note tells Sophia not to be frightened, okay? Or to worry about any harm coming to her son or herself. So this person had to know what he was doing, or she. These days we don't know. So they had to know what they were doing was alarming and frightening. The admirer expressed his love for her gentleness and her poise. He expressed that he was very shy and had heard from co-workers, okay, he's starting to tell it now, and had heard from co-workers that she was not ready for an intimate relationship. Okay, then what's the problem there? Why didn't you read that as get a clue, leave me alone? But he's going to tell her, I know you're not ready. I heard this from co-workers. He expressed that he just wanted to be her friend. Yeah, right. He did not want to come to her house, he says in this note. Just talk to her over the phone until she was comfortable with them hanging out. Well, that sounds like you want to be more than friends to me. Okay, player, what else you got for her? Sophia thought to herself, my co-workers have to know who is this person. He is referencing my co-workers too much in this note. She further thinks to herself, how do I find out which one of my co-workers know who is this person? See, she got to backtrack on how many of her co-workers she told. And then she got to do her clever investigation with each one of them. One day, Sophia goes to the warehouse to speak with the supervisor who was not answering his phone. She had a hot replacement shipment that did not have a return material authorization attached to it. After she finished talking to the supervisor about the shipment, he made a statement about liking the same musical group she likes. Oh, could it be the supervisor? Let's see. Sophia asked him, how do you know I like that musical group? The supervisor states, I had the musical group CD playing in the warehouse when I overheard your coworker Cynthia telling a couple of my workers that you are also a fan of the musical group. Okay, that kind of cleared the supervisor a little bit, but now we know who the coworker is. Cynthia been mouthing off. Okay, Cynthia. So the supervisor, he could not recall which of his coworkers Cynthia was talking to about the CD. So Sophia, she went back to her desk. After returning to her desk, Sophia, after returning to her desk, she asked Cynthia if she could call her after work. You go, girl, because this is going to be personal. Cynthia gave Sophia an approximate time she would be home and available to talk. As agreed, Sophia called exactly at the hour given by Cynthia. Good evening, Sophia. Cynthia must have caller ID. She picks up the phone. Good evening, Sophia. I see you are equally on time in your personal life as in your professional life. My phone rang exactly at 7 p.m. You sound complex at work when you asked to call me. What's on your mind? See, I think Cynthia knows something. I don't know. Let's go. Let's see what's happening here. Hi, Cynthia, says Sophia. I try to value people's time by being on time. So, in other words, Sophia is saying I'm not making no apologies for being on time. Okay? Earlier today at work, I had a conversation with the supervisor of the warehouse. He made a statement about overhearing you talk with two of his workers about me liking a musical group whose CD they were listening to when you was there talking with them. Oh yeah, shouts Cynthia. I remember that conversation. John and Nathaniel were the two workers I mentioned that to. Did I do something wrong? Okay, Cynthia, you off the hook, girl. You came with a good explanation. Okay, she sounds like she's innocent. She wasn't trying to do anything behind Sophia's back. Okay. She says, did I do something wrong? Sophia replies, well, no, you did nothing wrong. I'm only asking because the person who called themselves my secret admirer gave me a copy of that particular CD. Oh, I see where you are heading with this. It's possible that John or Nathaniel is the secret admirer, or no, if they're not the secret admirer, they might know who is the secret admirer. That's it exactly, Cynthia. Well, Sophia, based on your relationship status, let's rewind that, because what Cynthia actually said was, well, Sophia, based on their relationship status, it's possible your secret admirer could be John. He is single. She said, Nathaniel is married. She said, but come to think of it, however, I did hear that him and his wife is having problems. And because of his marital status, it would make sense why he would be your secret admirer. John wouldn't have a need to be a secret. Smart woman. Okay, Cynthia, you putting down a little wisdom right there. That makes sense. John wouldn't have a reason to be a secret, but the married man would. Okay, let's go. I appreciate your help, Cynthia. This is what Sophia tells her. She says, so have a good evening. I will see you tomorrow at work. Okay, Sophia, you as well. So they hang up the phone, and the next day at work, the Grapevine begins to talk. So even though Cynthia may be a little innocent in knowing who the secret admirer is, she's not innocent in chopping her lips gossiping. Because the Grapevine began to talk. What did she do? Beat the girl to work, get there before her? Or did her start time is before her and she go and start gossiping right away as soon as she get there? It's like, oh my goodness. Okay, so now it was obvious now to Sophia that Cynthia had discussed their conversation with a couple of her co-workers. They had to, because in order for the Grapevine to start talking, it had to be more than one mouth carrying some information back. So she had to discuss it with more than one co-worker. It had to be a couple of co-workers. These co-workers share with Sophia that they think, now they come into Sophia talking about it. They share with Sophia that they think Nathaniel likes her because he always asks how she is doing. After work, Sophia runs into Nathaniel in the parking lot. So that tells you right there, Sophia was taking this in. She was thinking when the co-workers started running to her, telling her stuff about Nathaniel, see, they getting ready to tell everything. No telling what all they told to her. Because, see, you could tell when she was hearing stuff through the Grapevine, they talks. So they come to her, they telling her stuff. Now she runs into Nathaniel in the parking lot. Hi, Nathaniel. I didn't know you drive a King Cab pickup truck. See, that was just a play for words. That's just an opening line to approach him in conversation. She didn't really care about that, what he drove. So, a man who likes to flex his muscles about his boy toys. So he said, yeah, this is my man toy. Do you need to use the service of my truck? He's happy. He grinning from ear to ear. You notice my truck. So do you need to use the service of my truck? Then he goes on to say, my mom doesn't live that far from where you live. Oh, you know where I live? Nathaniel giggled as he stated, well, I was going to my mother's home one day after work when I noticed you were driving in front of me. I couldn't help but to see where you live. Oh, I see, states Sophia. See, that's how a man is when he get that giggly and you to flatter him, you to say something that, made him stick his chest out. He just started telling on himself. Because, you just come out the blue and say, do you need to use the service of my truck because my mom lived near where you live? In other words, it wouldn't be out the way. That's what he's trying to say in a roundabout way. Put his foot in his mouth. Oh, I see, states Sophia. At that moment, Nathaniel knew he put his foot in his mouth. Sophia, I have a confession, he tells her. Can we go to a local cafe to talk? I do not want to talk in front of the job. Our co-workers love to gossip. Yes, they do. Sophia agreed to meet Nathaniel at a coffee and donut shop 10 miles away from the job. Okay, she had to been feeling some kind of comfortable to be able to meet him in a public place. And maybe her curiosity overshadowed any fear she had. She had to end this and end this soon. Because why would she want to meet this man? I think it was a combination of it all. She felt a little comfortable with him. And I think she wanted to end this. She was tired. She didn't want to live in fear. She needed to know if he was the one. So they meet at this coffee and donut shop. And Nathan, he was the perfect gentleman. You know, he was the perfect gentleman when they met up there. He opened the door for Sophia, pulled out her chair to sit before she sat. He ordered and paid for them both coffee and donuts. He started the conversation by saying, "Please let me apologize if I frighten you with all my anonymous gifts." Okay. He came out and he admitted right there without saying it that he is the secret admirer. He is the one. He says, please let me apologize if I frighten you with all my anonymous gifts. It was not my intent. He says, sometimes us men don't think with wisdom. Okay, you can say that again, repeat it. He says, sometimes us men don't think with wisdom when it comes to courting a lady. So, is that what you were doing? Asked Sophia. Yes, it is. I like you a lot. There is something about you that I cannot put into words. You make my heart flutter every time I see you or think about you. So Sophia listened to what he said. She was flattered by the words he said. But she tells him, Nathaniel, I heard through the grapevine that you are married. Is this true? Yes, says Nathaniel, I am. However, my wife and I are going through a separation. I am looking for a studio apartment. Currently, I sleep on a rollaway bed in the den of our home. So Sophia listened to him. She took a deep breath. She paused. Then she says to him, Nathaniel, you have to understand. You might have called yourself a secret admirer who was trying to court a person you like a lot. However, my perception was totally different. To me, you were a stalker. A stalker. That's who you were to me. And I was very concerned for my safety. She says, I would love to get to know the real you, but it will take some time. She says, I have to transition my thoughts from stalker to secret admirer. I'm not sure you are a good person otherwise. You know what? Otherwise, without me spending some time with you. I'm not sure. She said, I know you at work. I like you at work. You appear to be nice at work. She said, but how do I get to know you as a good person? She said, I feel comfortable being here in public with you at this coffee shop because I know this to be a very public place with a lot of activity. She said, but I need to get to know you. She says, please allow me the time to learn more about who you are as a person. She said, we can keep in contact by phone and we can occasionally meet at this coffee shop to talk in person. She said, I have a young son, as you know, because you have sent gifts to him as well. Therefore, I don't feel comfortable with you coming to my home until you have the green light from me. She said, based on our work relationship and who I know you to be at work, she said, the light changed from red to yellow. She said, because see, when it was unknown to me who you were, it was a red light there. But now that I know you, who you are, that you are the secret admirer, the light has changed from red to yellow. She says, so be patient with me. You got to give me time to get to know you in a different light from a personal perspective outside of work. He says, Nathaniel says, I understand, Sophia. I am happy you are open to getting to know me better. Nathaniel walked Sophia to her car. He asked permission to hug her after opening her car door. Permission was given. They both drove away with a smile on their face. Click the thumbs up and the subscribe button to receive notifications of more articles from the Book of Life. Remember to click that thumbs up. Be blessed and safe. Peace, people.